In this video, I'm going to show you how I painted this game's suit on a quarter scale statue. This is Ground Affected. My name is Brent, and welcome to leaving your paintbrush in a rinse cup all night. Now you got them hook tips, bruh. In this video, I'm going to show you how I painted this suit from the PlayStation game. I found this file on Gambody's website. It was originally a lot smaller. I think it was made for around 1/6-ish scale. I just blew it up, cut them off at the legs, stuck them in the printer, glued that back together again, and here we are. 1/4 scale Spiderman PlayStation suit. Without any more fuss, let's get straight into the painting video. This time, it actually made sense to start with the zenithal base coat. Here I'm using matte white, and I'm airbrushing the logos on the front and back of Spidey's chest. I'm making sure these are super white so I can then cover them up with Vallejo liquid mask so that this blocks any new layer that I'm going to add over the top of that. Knowing full and well that it won't be perfect, but making sure I got it as close to perfect as possible. I then took pure red from Army Painter and I sprayed this fairly thin down over the top of the entire Spidey. Putting this through the airbrush, I just use water to thin it and make sure that it doesn't go over too thick over the dark spots, but making sure that where it covers over the white, it's as saturated as it can possibly be. I don't care too much of overspray at the moment. I'm just trying to make sure that all the red parts are painted red. I'm then going to come back with Caraborg Crimson and I'm going to spray that from the bottom. I then used a mix of orange and yellow to get highlights over the top of this red. I then made the next biggest mistake I've made in a while, and I brush painted the rest of the entire suit, thinking I wasn't going to mask everything off. Completely satisfied with my naivety, I carried on with the base. Using Armageddon Dust, my favorite technical paint for making sandy-like objects, I painted the entire base solidly with this paint. I do use a little bit of water to try get it to flow a little bit easier in certain areas, but mostly I use it thick out the bottle. When I get this bottle of paint, I usually add a bit of water to it in the beginning and give it a shake to make it slightly thinner anyway. I just make sure that this base layer is solid with no undercoat showing through. Once this had dried, I came back with Agrax Earthshade and carefully placed that into all the cracks in between the stones on this base. Later on I decided this was not dark enough and ended up using a Nuln oil over the top of it, but you'll see me do that process later. Then, using Gilliman Flesh contrast paint and Sagor Brown contrast paint, I'm gonna add a slight gradation to the base from dark to light, and this is where you can see me darkening up those cracks with Nuln oil. I then came back for another layer, and this is going to be a highlight layer. I edge highlighted all the stones on the base, paying careful attention to the ones at the front and a little bit less attention to the ones in the shadow at the back. I did 2 rounds of this so that the front highlights were a little bit brighter than the ones at the back, and this is the result of the base. Using Vallejo Model Color Black, I painted the rim of the base and made it as neat and tidy as I possibly can. And while I left that to dry, I was considering my options on how I was going to paint the rest of the suit. And since it took a while to contemplate, the base had already dried and I started working on the Spider-Man logo on the base. Using a simple matte white, I'm just going to paint the front sides of all of the letters. I had to do 3 or 4 layers of this just to make sure that white was as white as it could be, and this is where I started to regret my mistake of painting the blue by brush, and I ended up masking off all the red so that I could paint the blue with an airbrush anyway. I should have just done this step from the start, but unfortunately sometimes we make a mistake and we just go with it. Now that everything's masked, it's easier for me to add the shadows and highlights to the suit and to keep the textures in line with the rest of the model. The blue was Crystal Blue from Army Painter, and I used Drakenhof Nightshade to add shadows onto that. I used a bit of white mixed into the Crystal Blue to create the highlights, and once that had dried, I came back and took off all the liquid mask. I've mentioned this before, but this is one of my favorite parts of using the liquid mask, is actually taking it off. It's extremely satisfying to pull the liquid latex off the model and see what kind of magical things you've left underneath. All mistakes, it depends on how you used it. I use a toothpick to come around and scratch off all the little untidy pieces on the edges of the symbol, and this is how it looks where we're at now. Using a matte white, I base coated all of the parts around the gloves that were meant to be white. This again took a couple of layers. Unfortunately, white is not one of those you can put down in one layer, So take your time, be careful with something like this, rather thin it down and do 5 or 6 layers if you have to. The result at the end will be a lot better than if you had to try slap it on extremely thick in the beginning. Sure, it might look like you're covering, but when it dries you will have unsightly stroke marks from the paintbrush left in the surface of your model. Using Flesh Terror's red contrast paint, I'm going to do all the trimming around the outside of the suit. The reason that I used the contrast paint for this is because it flows extremely easily and coverage is in 1, sometimes 2 passes. But mostly in 1 pass because it's a darker color, and this makes my life a whole lot easier not having to do a thin line 2 or 3 times over just to make sure the saturation is right. So having this go down in 1 pass makes it so much better. Then using Vallejo model color black, I'm going to paint the edges of the visors around his mask. Nothing too fancy with doing this, just adding a slight amount of water, making sure that the paint is thinned down, and just painting it, making sure I get over the edges as perfect as possible. While that dried, I went back and did a little bit more of the trims around the suit, and with a matte finish I find that black is not as dark as if it had a gloss finish, so I put a clear gloss over the visors to make them just look a little bit darker. Now for the lines on the suit, I used the same black, but this time I used the airbrush medium to make sure that the flow of the paint would help aid in placing that color in the tiniest little gaps around the suit. And then proceeded to spend a good few hours making sure my paintbrush didn't go outside of a small little tiny thin black line on a Spider-Man suit. This, as you can tell, would be an extremely time-consuming part of the model. However, if you do this carefully enough, the results will speak for themselves. I then go back into the areas around the logo which I had left towards the end so that I was a little bit more practiced in using the paints and the way that they had flowed on this model. Knowing exactly how they work, I'm more confident going and working closer around details that I don't want to mess up. Painting the feet was super simple. It's just white and a little bit of red over the trimming on the boots, and glued his arms together. Completed the rest of the trims on the boots, and that's the end of this model.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test, expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drive the chains, you can say no, free me.
If you enjoyed that video, or you found any tips that you thought were useful for any of your friends to see, please feel free to share the video with whoever you want. Actually, I don't really mind, just so long as you share the video. And while this is near the end of the video, I always have to thank the patrons who've supported and kept this channel going from day one. And as we are growing, there is always more people to add to the community. And I'm proud to thank the latest patrons who recently joined: Trevor Hill, Chuck Anderson, Kelly O'Neill. Thank you dude so much for joining the Patreon and supporting my channel and helping keep the lights on that constantly blind me while I try and make videos. If you have no idea what the Patreon's all about, it gives you access to our Discord where the community hangs out almost on a daily basis. We chat, we share our works, and if anybody has any problems, we usually come up with a solution between us all, as well as sharing the latest STLs and talking and discussing anything to do with 3D printing, model making, and painting. If you'd like to join the best community of painters and printers on the internet, make sure to check out the link in the description below. As well as to find the files for this model, you'll find that in the description, probably just next to the Patreon. Also, don't forget, if you're interested in any of the products that are used in the video, please check the links to my Amazon affiliate account. This does not cost you any more money than it would if you bought them off Amazon normally. However, it does send a small kickback towards the channel, and every little bit helps to keep the lights constantly blinding me. And we all know there's only one thing left to do when we get this far into a ground affected video. And even though YouTube took it away, you can still dislike and f off. It doesn't matter because your dislike is still an interaction and I will take that. Thank you for coming. Please come again soon.